So how are you supposed to ship these orders that have too many cards in them to comfortably fit inside a plain white envelope, but don't have enough value in them to justify spending the extra for bubble mailer with tracking shipping? With shipping orders today, and I've got a couple of orders like that I'm going to ship out today. My thinking has evolved on this. My process has evolved. And I've seen that question a lot lately. It's been directed to me a few times in the last couple of weeks. I've also seen it out in the public forums like Facebook groups and Reddit and different places like that. And most of the time when I've seen it put out to the public, it usually gets a whole lot of not helpful responses like don't sell cards that you don't know how to ship. Don't be in business shipping cards if you can't figure out how to do this. Don't sell cards so cheaply that you can't afford to ship them. A lot of not helpful stuff, especially because there are businesses that do sell and do make transactions like this that they then ship and do just fine with. So it's not helpful. I'm going to try to be helpful today. My name is Chase. This is TCG Bulk Kings, where every card has value, and that includes cards that get put in orders of 20, 30, 40 cards. So we're going to get those cards to you safely, and I'm going to show you how I do that right now. Like I said, my thinking and my process has evolved. I've struggled to come up with a cost-effective solution that made sense to me and my process. In the past, I've just bit the bullet, and if someone sent me down an order that I got paid out $3 on and I had to spend $4 to ship it, I spent $4 to ship it. I just made sure that it got to the customer, trying to make sure that customer had the best experience they possibly could, and just treated that as a cost of that. So, but it's hard to build brand on TCG Player or other marketplaces where people go to the marketplace to buy, not to you to buy, especially with TCG Player's new regulations on not allowing marketing materials inside the orders that you ship out. A couple of things that both came together at the same time for me to make something finally click, and I've got a better solution for these type of orders now. Now, for the first thing, I've said before several times that I print my the shipping details, the address and whatnot directly onto the envelopes. I had been using just a template in my word processing software to get that set up so that I could print it on the envelope. It was a little time consuming to copy and paste and then resize it and all that, and then take the envelope out, put a stamp on it and all that. Now I'm using a service for all that. Stamps.com is what I'm using. I had tried Stamps.com a long time ago, back when I was very new to this. I tried them out. I didn't like them very much at the time. I was under the impression then that you had to print your postage onto their net stamps that you had to pay to order from them, as on top of the monthly subscription that you pay for using Stamps.com. What are my kids doing up there? I don't know what they're doing. It's really loud. So you would come out with more expensive postage than just picking up stamps from the grocery store or the post office or whatever. So I just stuck with stamps and figured out a way to print. Back then I was using labels to print addresses. That was relatively easy for me to do it that way. But now I'm not using the label printer for that. I've got the EcoTank printer over here. I've been printing addresses onto envelopes, but like I said, it was a bit of a time-consuming process. And I've learned that recently that Stamps.com, you can print the postage directly onto the envelope, which actually saves a lot of trouble and makes it make more sense monetarily. So you do get a discount on the postage. It's 4 cents off on a regular stamp right now. Not sure if that will change how that changes exactly going to happen with the postage increase coming up, but I'm sure it will be a commensurate discount still. Also, back then I was not shipping as many envelopes as I do now. I do 20, 30, 40 envelopes a day sometimes. So that savings can really add up, and it covers the cost over a month of the monthly subscription. So also within Stamps.com, you get the option to print postage for other services that I didn't have available through Pirate Ship. Pirate Ship is where I normally ship my parcels from. I get my parcel shipping labels from, and they do a really good job of discounting like Ground Advantage parcels. So if I've got 60, 70, 90 cards in an order, 250. I think I've got a 400 card order that dropped early this morning, so I get to have fun with that tomorrow. Those kinds of things I'll print a label through Parcel Post with Pirate Ship, and instead of having to pay $5.35, it'll be like $4.05 or $4.15 or whatever it is, depending on the distance from here, from Tucson. Good discounts through there to help save that. But on orders like this one from Jordan that I'm about to pack up, where my payout is going to be $4.15 after TCG Player takes their cut, paying $4.15 to ship it means I'm just shipping them some cards for free. And like I said before, I would just take that and hope that Jordan was impressed with the cards and with my packaging and all that, and come back and shop with me again, or maybe find me on one of my other marketplaces, or find the YouTube channel, or whatever. I don't have exact numbers because it's really hard to track. I know like repeat sales within TCG Player were about 2% of my orders. I'm certain that there was some small amount of conversion from TCG Player orders to people coming to look at YouTube or the website or things like that. Not a huge conversion, a non-zero conversion. It's not great. Now that I'm using stamps.com, I have access to being able to print shipping for large envelopes, or flats is what they're another term for them. Interchangeable terms within the USPS system. Gonna get this pulled and packed up. I'll show you how I'm doing that. Looks like this is a nice Flesh and Blood order for Jordan. Alright, so this order here is 35 Flesh and Blood cards. None super valuable. I've got a couple from History. Pack 1 are 25-30 cents. But, everything's 10 cents or more. So 35 cards, comes out over $5. TCG Player gets their cut of about $1. So, yeah, we've got to figure out how to ship this without it being too costly. So what I do is, for this stack, I'll cut it into two. Take one of the two stacks in a team bag with a top loader, and the other. Now the other part of this that makes this shipping method make sense for me is that shipping shields, shipping shields, I use these on all my regular smaller orders. They've got a new product out that Greg sent me to test out, and that's these top shields. They're bigger than your regular shipping shields, and they are perfect for putting something that's in a top loader or wrapped up in a team bag with a top loader right down in there like that. And that fits just fine. Now it has a little notch here, a little flap you can stick in the notch. I don't use that. I have a hard time getting it to fit in. It seems like it was cut a little bit away from where I can get it in when I've got this many cards in here. If you're only shipping a couple of cards in your top loader, which I think the main design use for these is for like higher end cards where people want to put it in a top loader and have something just a little extra on the outside. But I'm using them this way. I just put a little bit of painter's tape on there. There's the other one. We'll tape these both onto the invoice. You can tape one on the invoice just like you would with a regular shipping shield and fit it in a number 10 envelope. But since we got two, we'll do them side by side, kind of vertically. Fold them up in the invoice like that. Not complicated. They're just taped on there. So we just copy the address from here over to stamps.com. And I'd show you, but I've got to, I can't show you with the customer's information on there, so we're not going to do that. Large envelope or flat. Now this is about, we'll call it 4 ounces. It's going to cost $2.11 to ship it instead of the $5 that it would be, almost $4.50 that would be through pirate ship. It doesn't come with a tracking number. TCG Player could get on that and have shipping through them with tracking numbers like eBay does. It's not like they're separate companies or anything, so they could do that. But we will get our larger envelope. This is like a half letter envelope, kind of like a big greeting card envelope. And there we go. It printed it directly onto the label or onto the envelope. We just stick that in the envelope and it gets to where it's supposed to go. So there we have it. That's going to get there. It's flexible enough. It's not going to get messed up. You've seen the cards are super well protected. Now the reason we do these and it's allowed is that the large envelopes that the USPS allows, not something that you hear about or hear talked about very often, but large envelopes or flats, they just have to exceed the largest size for a regular envelope in one dimension. So you can use a regular number 10 envelope as long as it's overstuffed, and print a label for large envelope and put on it, and that will be fine. I do that all the time. The cards get there, they're fine. If it's just too much to fit in there like this, where it's two stacks, can't get it into a number 10, then you just get a little bit bigger envelope. As long as it doesn't exceed 3/4 of an inch, and I think it's 12 by 15, whatever I think the manila envelope size is for legal documents, so the longer bit, not letter documents, but a little bit longer, and you weigh it correctly and have it weighed correctly, so you have the right amount of postage on it, it'll work just fine. So instead of being no dollars total on this order, I'm gonna make about $2 on this order. Over 36 cards, that's what, 5 or 6 cents per card, which is better than I was getting if I sell them one by one. It's about what I was getting if I sell them, in groups of 4 or 6. So same old to me, and I get them out the door faster. So if you have any questions or any tips or any other ideas on how to do that better, then let me know. If you want to pick up some of those shipping shield top shields, or you want to try out stamps.com, I'll put information about that all in the description down here. I think my discount code with shipping shields is still working too, so I'll put that down there as well. Of course, if you use any of that, then I get a little bit of a benefit. Help me out. Help yourself out. Or don't. If this video was helpful for you and you want to watch something else I've done, check out this video over here about how to use the filtered CSV settings in TCG Player to list cards. Or check out this one on this side for something else that'll probably be interesting for you.